hand in hand with the storage services that we have here. We're going to look at cloud computing. Now, you would hear basically three things. The first thing we call infrastructure as a service, IaaS. Don't worry, you will get to understand all this. The second one, the second type of cloud computing we call platform as a service. The third type of cloud computing we call software as a service. Now, it will interest you to know that you are probably using one of these things, right? You are probably using one of these things, but you don't know yet. As we go through the lesson, you realize that you've been using them. So, what is infrastructure as a service? Infrastructure as a service. Now, this is the basic building blocks for cloud IT. So, from the beginning, we've been talking about data centers, on-premise, hardware, and all that. That is what infrastructure as a service does. Okay, so you are not going to worry about your IT stuff. You are not going to worry about your data centers. You are not going to worry about the hardware. The cloud service provider. When I say cloud service provider, you remember that Google Cloud Platform is an example. So Google Cloud Platform, or we refer to it as GCP. Okay, so when I say GCP, it's Google Cloud Platform. GCP would provide you with the data center. GCP will provide you with the hard drive that you need. GCP will provide you with the computer that you need for your work to be able to go on. That's what we call infrastructure as a service. So that they are only providing you with the computer, and then you work on the computer as if you are working on your local machine. Then we also have something we call platform as a service, like I said. Now with this one, you are only going to focus on your deployments. So with this one, the company is giving you, the company is going to configure the machine for you. It's going to provision the resource for you. You don't need to understand the hardware or the operating system that the thing is going to run. The only thing you know is that you have placed your item there and the thing is running. So a perfect example of platform as a service would be that you want to host your web page, right? When you want to host your web page, the only thing you are buying is the storage size or the account at the cloud service provider. When you buy it, how the thing is going to load on the internet, that is not your problem. You are only focused on deploying your website. So when you are focused on deploying your website, the cloud service provider is going to take care of your hard drive. It is going to take care of the storage. It is going to take care of the database. It is going to take care of the operating system. It is going to take care of configuring all the things that you need. The only thing you are going to focus on is deploying your application. Now we have software as a service. You have software as a service. Now this is what the everyday user uses. Okay, you don't have to worry about how the service is maintained. With software as a service, everything has been done for you. When you talk of software as a service, most of us do software as a service. When you create an app, it is a software as a service, because the user is not going to ask you when the user is using it. The user is not going to look at the hard drive. It's not going to look at the storage. It's not going to look at all the things that are going on behind the scenes. The user is only concerned that the application is working, full stop. And that is what software as a service does. So most of us actually do software as a service. But the cloud providers, the big guys also provide their own software as a service. So we are going to look at an overview. There is going to be a diagram so that you will get to understand. So at the base of the pyramid, okay, we have the IaaS, or the infrastructure as a service. Okay, that is where the larger work is going to be done by you, the individual. You have to do the larger work. You have to ask them. You have to specify the storage amount you need. It's more like you are building a personal computer. So that is the larger one. With platform as a service, the cloud service provider will provide the machines for you. It will do all the configuration for you. You are only interested in deploying your application. So that's the platform as a service. Software as a service, the cloud service provider has done every single thing. You are only interested in using the application. As simple as that. You are only interested in using the application to solve your daily needs. So we are going to look at the examples of all these that I've mentioned. We will start with the software as a service. They run in red, as you can see. So if you are not even getting anything, just follow the diagram that I'm making here, and you are going to get everything. So example of this software as a service, you can see all these companies, right? You can see Twitter, you can see Facebook, you can see Gmail, you can see Netflix, Slack, Google Drive, and then YouTube. These are all software as a service. That is why I said most of us do software as a service, because we build our applications, then we just send it to the market, and people just use it. They are not looking for how their storage is being made. They're not looking for how the thing is being hosted. All that they care about is they've gone to the Play Store, they've gone to the App Store, they've downloaded the app, full stop. Or they've gone to the web, they've opened their favorite web browser and they're using the app. So simple. Examples of platform as a service. So this is what I was talking about. We have Heroku, that is the first one. Most of you do use Heroku, right? We have Google App Engine, that is the second one. And then we have the last one is called Amazon Elastic Beanstalk. Okay, don't worry, you don't need to know it. It's just an example of what I'm saying. So basically, most of these platforms as a service are places where you can host your stuff. So for instance, you are building an application, or no, not that. You are maybe making a database. Okay, you are building a web server. You want a place to host your web server. The only thing you are focused on is building the web server, but you now want a place to host the web server. That's where Heroku comes in. So you just send your programs to Heroku, and Heroku will do the rest. So Heroku is providing you a platform for you to host your application or whatever that you have in hand. Then the last one, we have the infrastructure as a service. So like I said, think of it as they are renting you a computer for you to use. So DigitalOcean, Google Cloud Platform, AWS, Microsoft Azure, the ones we mentioned earlier, they all fall under infrastructure as a service, or IaaS. Now, the next question comes in that which people actually use these types of cloud computing? Now, software as a service is being used by the end user. Okay, most end users use software as a service. Software as a service, like I said, is an already baked app. Everything is in there. You find everything you are looking for. The only thing you are going to do is log in and start using it, or apply it to your daily use. That is the end user. Which people use platform as a service? Developers, like some of you who have joined this, mostly use platform as a service because as a developer, you are the one going to build the code. You are the one going to ensure that the code works. But you're going to give it to the platform as a service to use their platform to host whatever that you are building. And that is a developer. And then IaaS is being used by administrators. When I talk about administrators, the people who manage the computers, the people who can use what and what can be used at a particular point in time. These are what we call administrators, and they are the ones who normally use infrastructure as a service. So you need to identify where you fall under. You basically, most of us fall under the first one, with few of us falling under the second one, and some of us falling under the third category of cloud computing users. Okay, now we're going to look at cloud computing responsibilities. Okay, responsibilities of cloud computing. Now, what happens is that when you are using the cloud, what happens is that there are these 9 items that I have listed on the left side. These 9 items I have listed on the left side are things that either the cloud service provider will do for you, or you have to do for yourself, right? As we go on, you understand. So we are going to compare all the services with these responsibilities I've listed here. So we're going to compare between the on-premise, that is the data center, and we are going to compare the IaaS, the PaaS, and then the SaaS. So I gave a very basic diagram that I want all of us to follow. So the key is beneath us. The ones in the light blue means that you are the one going to manage it, right? Then the one in the dark blue means the service provider is the one going to manage it for you. So when you look at our applications, you are the one going to manage if you are having your own data center. If you are using infrastructure as a service, you are the one going to manage your applications. If you are using platform as a service, you are the one going to manage your applications. But all these applications has already been built with software as a service. So with software as a service, you are not concerned about the application, you are not concerned about the data, you are not concerned about any of the things over there, because the cloud service provider will do every single thing for you. With platform as a service, you are responsible for the application that you are building and the data that you are building. Okay, so like I said, the application, let's say you are making a web server. The applications and then the data, you are the one responsible for. But the rest, the cloud service provider is going to take care of it. That is the runtime, the middleware, the operating system, the virtualization, the servers, the storage, the networks. The cloud service provider will take it for you if you are using the platform as a service. Now, if you are using infrastructure as a service, that is the IaaS, you are going to be responsible for your application. You're going to be responsible for the data, for the runtime, for the middleware, and then for the operating system that you are going to use. The rest will be handled by the cloud service provider, meaning the virtualization, the service, the storage, the networking will be handled by the cloud service provider. But you can see that of all these things, if you are using on-premise, that is the most difficult one. You would have to manage all the things on your left hand side.